Some of you don't set your sights too high, but God may have His sights way up here. Some may say, oh, I just want to make it through life. I just want to do this and I just want to do that. God has a strategy for you. You know, if you go into any battle, you need to have a strategy. How am I going to get here and how am I going to get there and this, and this? You know, it tickles me today to see deer hunters of today opposed to deer hunters 30 years ago. Urban, years ago, we get together stuff. I'd sit by a tree. A lot of times I'd just sit by a tree, just put my back up against a tree, had that old orange vest on, didn't think anything. Anyone would, you couldn't see anything you'd think 30 years ago. But I've had deer come from me to Norman doing that. I've had them almost lick on the end of my barrel with my gun. Me just sitting on it. But nowadays, if you deer hunt, you've got to have all the finest of scent protection, right? And you have to have all the finest of GPS stuff now. Oh, they'll take you over here to this, and you, yeah, the little mini mansion with the feeder out there, have them tied up there by the tree, all that kind of stuff. You know, all this kind of stuff, and you have to have all that kind of stuff. What is a strategy, right? We think Russell took me and the boys out fishing last week, and the next thing I know, he's like, all right, boys, put them out right here. And I'm like, in this big fancy old thing up there, they're all Honduras guys. I'm like, what? I thought you just put your hook out there and maybe they'll bite, maybe they won't. No, he had them all Honduras. He's like, they're Honduras preacher, just stick it out there. Strategy. We live in a world like that. If you get in your car and you want to go to Houston, to whatever, what do? You get your little phone out, and you get in the right pocket. You get your phone out, and you type in it. It's a strategy. I want to go this way. Oh, there's traffic here, or there's this. I'm going to tell you right now, God has a strategy for you. He has a strategy wanting you to get through life and to be successful to make this step happen. Finally, under that question, I accept God's power as my strength. Let me tell you, if you're here today and you say, preacher, it just seems like the world is sucking me dry, then hook in or plug in to the one that is all powerful. He never runs out, and He has all the power to change your life. No longer will we walk in home feel like I'm by myself, because we have a powerful God in our life. And He has a standard, and He has a strategy for us. So we have the R, the E, the C, and now we have the O. Openly examine and confess my faults to God, to myself, and to someone I trust. Psalm 32, verse 1 and 2 says, blessed is the one whose transgression is forgiven. Amen. Whose sin is covered. Blessed is the man against whom the Lord counts no iniquity, and in whose spirit there is no deceit. I'm so glad that God is still in the forgiving business. I am so glad that He is doing that in our lives. And we need to look at our lives. This is the part that, a lot of us don't want to look at. This, Rebecca just mentioned that up here a while ago. We'll talk about this when she said just a bit later. As you look at your life, how many of you opened your life and said, here you go, God. Here you go. When I was in the funeral business a lot, we had an old, his name was, he was an inspector, he was a state inspector. I've told you this before, but when he walked in, your place was an open book to him. He could walk in any cave, he could open any cave, any drawer, he could go in any room, matter. Your life, for a moment, was just over. Danny, when she worked in the banking world, they had inspectors and auditors that would come, and they would sit at their desk and allow those people to go in any file, and they randomly cut files out, and they would go over them with a fine-tooth comb. Many days she would come home and say, "Oh, they found this. They found that." What they would do, they would go to them at the end of the week, and they would set the superiors down at the bank, and they would set them down, and they would say, "Listen, you've got to do this, this, and this better. Because we're going to come back next year, and you better have it taken care of." What if you went to God and said, "God, my life's no good. Come in and look at my life. Go in my deepest, darkest areas of my life and look at me. Every area, every place that I think may be hidden." And why do we do that? The reason for this step is this. Guilt destroys our confidence. Would you agree with that? Guilt absolutely damages your relationships. And guilt keeps me stuck in the past. Guilt! When you look at your life and why I can't do this or why I can't do that, is because you have to allow Him to come in and confess your faults. Here's the problem, is asking God to forgive you and asking God to work in your life. And I'll even take it a little bit farther than that. Some of us don't even take it to God. Just because you are standing here today and you say, "Well, I have this," have you really taken it to God and said, "God, here it is"? Because my Bible, if I'm going to make that statement that I said a while ago from cover to cover, if I want to believe it from cover to cover, then I also have to believe that I have to take Him everything to Him. And there's a thing in the little old Romans road, anything that we do to reach out to people, to carry them to accept Christ as their Savior, we will tell them to confess to God. What is that? You're taking it. You're giving Him everything. You're saying, "This is everything." By the way, God knows your heart anyway. That was said up there a while ago. Little Cooper said that God already knows it. He already knows your heart, but you need to take it to Him and give it to Him. Here's why we don't take it to Him. Because we know He's going to take it away. We know that He's going to take it out of our, He's going to, if we confess it to Him, give it to Him, basically, "Lord, I've done this, I've done that," then we give it to Him. I'm confessing this to You. Take care of it. You're wrapping it up and you're saying, "Here it is, God. Take care of this. I need You to deal with this." Confess it. I dare say in a group this size, you're going to have somebody in here that has never confessed something in their life. You've never given it to them. "Oh, I'm just kind of hanging on to it." No, you need to give it to Him. How can I do this? Rebecca mentioned this. You're going to need to take a personal moral inventory. Now, I like how the creators of CR put it. Not just an inventory. They said moral inventory. Now, you look at that word moral today and everybody shuts their ears off. "Oh, I don't want to talk about moral," because that means right. That means doing the right thing. That means doing God's thing. That means doing everything by the book. Let me tell you, you can be a good person, but you can still be morally wrong. Did you hear me? You can be a good person. You can take tomatoes to the little lady down the road. You can do this. You can do that. You can help somebody during the week. I didn't say you were a good person, but morally, how's your life? How's the inventory in your life when you take a moral inventory? Lamentations 3:40 says basically this: "Let us examine our ways and test them." When's the last time you've examined your ways, your moral inventory, and took account of what's going on in your life? Maybe this. Maybe you haven't accepted the responsibility for my faults. You know, when you take a moral inventory, then there's some time in your life you've got to say, God, that was on me. We talk about that a lot, but until you and I say, it's on me. Me, I did it, it's on me, I'm going to take responsibility for that. In Proverbs 20, verse 27, it says, the spirit of man is a lamp of the Lord, searching all his innermost parts. Every part of you, God needs to look at today. And you need to look at your life, and I need to look at mine, and say, I am accepting responsibility for this. And it piggybacks right into ask God for forgiveness. I like this, though. So I was looking at this week. They put a little side note up there. I'm sure some probably don't even bring this up, but I thought it was a good thing. It says, how not to ask forgiveness from God. See if you've ever done this. Don't beg, don't bargain, and don't bribe. How many's ever tried to do any of those things with God? We all have. I know nobody wants to raise their hand on that deal, but we need to get serious about God. We need to quit. God, I'll do this. I don't know how many times. I'll do this if you will do this. Right? God's not in the auction business. He's in the get serious with your life business. He's tired of you playing. If you want to make this step happen in your life, then you're going to get serious with God. You're going to take an honest assessment. I'm so tired of us. We all do this. Oh, I didn't do anything, or I don't have this, or I don't have that. That's baloney. We all have something that we have done in our life. We need to admit that and accept that. Let it go and come clean. Let him have it. Say, yes, I did do that. Yes, I have this and this, and I'm going to be serious about this, and I want you to come, and I want you to clean me up, God. I want you to take care of my life and do whatever I need to do to make this right. If you remember right in this, it says, confess my faults to God, to myself, and to someone I trust. Admit my faults to another person. I want you to, if you never hear anything that I say today, I'm going to help us just a little bit here on this point. Listen real close to this. Somebody you trust who can keep it in confidence. Somebody who understands the value of what you are doing. Somebody who is mature, listen to me, somebody who is mature enough that they are not going to be shocked. And somebody who knows, listen, this is the most important thing. If you want to talk to somebody about your problems, this better be a criteria about who you're talking to. Somebody who knows the Lord well enough that they can reflect His forgiveness to you. Now, let me get serious with you. We have in this world today, we have people that says, "Oh, I'll be here for you. I'll be here." No, they're not. Anybody that knows me knows one pet peeve of mine. I had to get on a Renew Point recharge night one night back here because I will not tolerate somebody talking about some End of story. Why? Because this point right here. Somebody comes to you in confidence, that you be that Christian friend and keep your mouth shut. They are coming to you to ask you to help them and to pray for them. And if that is the case, then shut your mouth and pray for them. And be there for them. The problem that I see in the world today is we don't have, and this is something that we talk about in our home a lot, is I want people that they can see whoever it is in here, and they can go to them in confidence, and that person, not a minute later, will be out on the front porch or in the parking lot talking to somebody else about it. It's none of their business. So if they come to you, then you take it in confidence, and Can you be that Christian friend? Don't you go to someone, oh, but I want them to pray with them too. No, you don't. You just want to tell somebody. How can we help these people make this step and to admit their faults to another person if we're going to go and we're going to tell somebody else about it? If you want to set our church and our ministries and different things on a different level, it'll be by you being in confidence, a good Christian friend, loving somebody and caring about them. And you take that work with your grave if you have to. I've had people come to me at this church and say, or any church that I've ever been in, and I say, preacher, did you know so-and-so, this? Yeah, that happened about 2 years ago. And we're like, what? Yeah. You know that? Yeah. Look at it on the reverse side of that. If you're here and you're hurting, you don't really want to know about it, then shut your mouth. Did you hear me? If you're hurting and you got a problem and don't go out here and tell everybody and their dog about your problem. If you're not expecting them to put it on social media, if you're not expecting them to do this, to do that, to do this, don't you say a word. And I'm just saying that in love. If you want help, then go to the people that can help you. Don't broadcast it. Here's what we do, though. Satan knows this. Satan knows if he can get any of us to say, oh, you got to tell somebody. They're your friend. Let me tell you something. When you go through the valley, you're going to find out who your friends are first. You're going to find that out. I pride myself. If you tell me something, it's going to be right here. And I mean that. Now, I'll take it to my grave to let you show me one person that never did. And he say, oh, preacher told you. No, he didn't hear that from me. Matter of fact, I had that over there a while ago, didn't I? Said, I'm the only one to know something about this, and this. So somebody's talking. What I'm saying is, folks, you and I have got to get serious. You want change? There's a plan in place for change. All that we've talked about is right here. Someone says, I can't stand. I'm just going to pick on you, Allie. I can't stand, Allie. You know why? Why me and Allie may have a problem? Because me and Allie didn't got together and fix things. Right? There's a plan for that in the Bible. I try to do it at the PD and where I work during the week. I try to do that at church here. You got a problem with me, there's a way to handle it. If you got a problem with the preacher, you come to the preacher. You know what happens? And there's no issues here. But you know what? There's churches all across this country right now. I know there's one right in Bryan College Station, pretty good size one right now. They're battling it out over there. You know why? Because this one's saying this one, this is saying this one, and they're not going. Come on, people. We have an opportunity to make these steps happen, and we can change our life forever. And the last point, how can I do this step? The last of this is to accept God's forgiveness and forgive myself. Listen to this. God forgives instantly. He forgives freely. He forgives completely, and He wipes it out. Amen. That's the goal. The goal of all that we've talked about today, to be open, to do all the things, to consciously say, God, I want your will in my life, I want your standard, is to get to this last point, which simply says He can forgive you instantly. I'm going to tell you, you're going to have scars. You're still going to have scars. Satan's still going to bring up stuff. Satan's still going to send people in your way. But all that doesn't matter. What matters is God has forgiven you. Now, the consequences of sin is that we're always climbing. Kelly, we've talked about this a lot, right?